Y'all may hear my dogs go off here in a little bit. My girlfriend will probably be home soonish, so just ignore that. Also, I have my camera scooted way far over. Let me see if y'all can actually... Yeah, it's still probably fine. Put it that way a little bit. So maybe I don't see so much of my microphone. Yeah, that's fine. Alrighty, so yesterday on the stream we went through all of just the white colored cards because I got super distracted and started talking a hell of a lot about I think random nonsense. I don't know. It takes me a while to go through card discussions because I get so sidetracked. But most of y'all know that if y'all have watched the channel, even a couple videos, I get very sidetracked. Sometimes I'll start a topic and then never finish it. So yeah, today we're going to be trying to tackle all of the cards, all the way down to the lands, and then I figured if I still feel up for it, because I do have the event tomorrow, and it's 9 o'clock now, the event starts at 11 a.m., and I'm going to be trying to do a 24-hour stream, so I want to be sure to, you know, go to bed with ample time to sleep to my heart's content. But yeah, I figured if we get enough time at the end, I would show y'all some of these decks that I've already made up, and then I also have, well, probably easiest just to go here and then following. I also have Macfar, who has been creating some decks for us, so I have a few extra to check out if we have some time. So, gonna check out chat real quick, make sure everything's good. Awesome. And we're getting people in, so everyone that this is their first time, welcome to the channel. My name's Chance, and we try to have fun for the most part. I try to be, like, at every point, I try to be relaxed. I know I do get salty, but hey, who doesn't get salty playing Magic, right? So, yeah, thanks for coming out. And if you're new to the stream, the streams are a lot more laid back than the videos. In the videos, I try to bring a sense of professionalism. In the streams, I'm more like, well, you know, y'all are getting the live things, so sorry. Nonetheless, without further ado, how about we kick off this card breakdown, right? So, Aether Gust, 1 and a blue mana, and how about I click on these so y'all can actually read them too, huh? Choose target spell or permanent that's red or green. Its owner puts it on the top or bottom of their library. Choose target spell or permanent that's red or green. Its owner. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is like a Teamer enter the battlefield kind of deck and using it on your own creatures, because yeah, past that, I don't really know. This is I'm sure y'all have a lot better brewing minds with some of these cards than I do. This just doesn't, I don't know. I'm sure there's a play around somewhere with this. It's not striking my mind anywhere though, so maybe it's good with the elementals, you know, putting the elementals back on top of your deck and then playing them back down. I don't know, that's just it's a weird one because it only targets red or green, right? If it targeted everything, it might be a little bit more playable, but just red or green feels, I would say it's a sideboard card, but even at that, probably not. Agent of Treachery, 7 mana for a human rogue. Oh man, and it's a 2/3. Holy shit. 7 mana for a 2/3. Let's see the abilities. When Agent of Treachery enters the battlefield, gain control of target permanent. Okay, cool. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 3 or more permanents you don't own, draw 3 cards. Wow. So this is a control comp kind of card. So you'd be running like Embolas's Clutches, oh, now I can't even think of it. Mass Manipulation, Entrancing Melody. Draw 3 cards. So what are you going to be trying to do with this? Just steal their deck, play control, steal their deck, draw your cards, kill them with their own stuff, kill them with their own plan, basically. Because you can control 3 or more of any of their permanents, so you can take their planeswalkers and it still counts. Yeah, I mean, definitely expect to see me play this card at some point tomorrow. Agent of Treachery. Let me copy that down real quick. You can see I have a M20 deck ideas list, and it has been slowly marked off / underlined if I think that the deck has been made semi. So Agent of Treachery, and we need to not cross through that because that hasn't been made yet. So yeah. Air Elemental returning. I mean, we're getting an elemental format into an elemental standard, I mean. So, sure. Throw in a flying elemental, why not? 5 mana for a 4/4, perfectly fine in drafts. Like, that's a very reasonable drop. So, Anticipate, coming back. Yeah, I mean, it's perfectly fine, especially for a common. So these cards that we're getting back, like Befuddle, Bone to Ash, all the cards that are returning, I probably won't spend too long on because we've already seen them for, well, forever. Anyways, moving us on. Adamus, All-Seeing, 6 mana, 3 and 3 blue, so very restricted. It's a legendary Sphinx. 4/5. It's okay. 3 mana and tap, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. That's not terrible. Whenever it deals damage to an opponent, you may reveal your hand. If cards with at least 6 different converted mana cost are revealed this way, that player loses the game. Okay, hold up. 6 different converted mana cost. That's like one solo, like a solo green, solo blue, whatever. 1 and then a color, 2 colors and a cost, 3 colors and a cost, 4 colors and a cost, 5 colors, right? That's the only way to get it. So you'd have to be playing in a Wooburg deck. Am I wrong about that, chat? Hold up. That's the only way to get it? 6 different converted mana cost. 1, 2. Yeah. I think so. I may be wrong about that, but either way, we'll probably try it. Why not? You know, this is the land of the janky and the home of the I don't give a shit about the meta. So, sure. Seems fun. Befuddle again. It's coming back. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's okay for draft maybe. Bone to Ash. Kind of target creature spell, draw a card for 4 mana. Probably won't see it too much. Boreal Elemental. You know what this card reminds me of? Articuno. You know? Like Pokemon Articuno. Playing Commander with a friend as we speak. Awesome, awesome. Mac, one day I will get into Commander. One day. I would love to see you on the YouTube channel, The Command Zone. One of their 4-player Commander games. Yeah, I wish. Sounds correct. Awesome, Samuel. Thanks for the confirmation on that. So yeah, Boreal Elemental reminds me of Articuno right off the bat. Spells your opponent cast that target Boreal Elemental cost 2 more to cast. I mean, for draft, that's not bad. 5 mana for a 3/4 that makes all of their removal cost a little bit more. I mean, seems solid. Past that, I doubt you see it in an elemental deck, in a serious elemental deck. Brandborn Cutthroat. 1 and a blue. Merfolk Pirate. That's spicy. Flash. 2/1. Seems okay so far. Whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Brandborn Cutthroat. Wow. So this could be really good in like a control deck, right? Are we getting like mono blue controlling merfolks? Because you got Trickster, which is already pretty dope. I mean, past that, my mind's kind of drawing blanks, but you have a whole lot of control in blue, like a whole lot of counter spells, which would build this card up. Maybe even going like Azorius Merfolk, because then you can go Mini Tef, and then you can cast sorcery spells during your opponent's turn. I don't know. Yeah, seems good. Y'all know I have a love-hate relationship with Merfolk. I love playing them. I hate playing against them. So, yeah, that's how that goes. Captivating Gyre. 6 mana. Return up to 3 target creatures to their owner's hands. I mean, that's a huge tempo swing if you're up against a creature-heavy deck. If you're up against control, it's a 6 mana dead card. So, I don't know, maybe it'll see sideboard play if we have a creature-heavy meta. Maybe. Past that, it'll probably just be played in draft as a tempo swing, right? Cavalier of Gales. This is going to be the Elemental Knight for the blue mana, so 2 and 3 blue mana. Flying, 5/5 for 5 mana. That's pretty good, just baseline stats, right? Especially for draft, that's great. Whenever it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. That's okay. I think, what was the White Knight's removal? That's, I mean, compared to removal, maybe, because then you can draw some removal from it. I don't know. It doesn't seem as good, but it is still pretty good because it's basically a scry, except you're scrying and you're getting to choose whether or not you want to send some of your previous cards in your hand back to the top of your library. Nonetheless, whenever it dies, shuffle it into its owner's library, then scry 2. That is okay. People will just probably target it with elemental, fucking exile effects, right? Vraska's Contempt, Conclave Tribunal, that kind of stuff. So that way you don't get that effect. But if you do, I mean, you're getting the creature back and you're getting the scry too. So if the effect goes off, awesome. Just as a standalone, it's still pretty good. You know, we're not dealing with the fucking God Eternals, but I mean, I'm liking the Elemental Knights. They have their own little flair, and they're not so busted that you're like, well, you know, we're gonna be seeing this a whole lot. So, Celestial Messenger, 2 and 2 blue, so 4 mana altogether. Bird Spirit. I kind of want to try a bird and a spirit tribal. Maybe a bird spirit tribal. We'll just have to see. Flash Flying, 4 mana, 3/2. It's okay. Gets +1/+1 as long as you control a Yanling Planeswalker. I'm going to butcher these names. Let's just be real. Oh, it's a common. Okay. I mean, for a common, it's not bad. Give me a minute. I gotta get a drink of my lemonade. And yes, I am a degenerate that just drinks straight from the jug. It's only me and my girlfriend here, so you know. Who's complaining? Minus maybe chat. Nonetheless, Cerulean Drake, 1 and a blue creature Drake. Drakes are getting some more love. Flying, protection from red. Okay, sacrifice it. Counter target spell that targets you. Not that targets creatures you have, but that targets you. I mean, this seems like it was directly aimed at mono red, right? I mean, seems fine. 2 mana seems, I don't know. I just don't know where it fits in. Maybe in a flyer deck, but at the same time, I just don't know how I feel about this all of these creatures that have protection. I mean, the mono black one's probably the best, right? Protection from green, and then none of your opponent's creatures can get counters put on them. That's really strong. Cloud Conceer, 3 mana elemental wizard. Whenever it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Draft. It's a common. A lot of these are like, you know, they are what they are. You have to have commons to have uncommons, and to have rares, and to have mythic rares. Otherwise, if the game was just all mythic rares, it wouldn't be fun. So some of these cards are just really a passover. Convolute, 3 mana, counter target spell unless its controller pays 4. Draft. Right? You might see it in draft. It's not that it's going to be a bomb, but you might face it. You might see some use for it in draft. Dawn from Dreams, 4 mana. 2 and 2 blue. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest onto the bottom of your library in a random order. 4 mana. Picking 2 cards out of the top 7. That's pretty huge. Yeah, I mean, realistically, this could say standard played as well. 4 mana. Okay, so you see Chemist's Insights right now, but here's the thing. This is like a buffed up Chemist's Insight. Sure, you don't get it back, but if I told you that every time you played Chemist's Insight, you were going to draw the 2 cards you wanted with it, would you trade that off for getting to play it a second time? Most of the time, right? Most of the time I feel like you would. And viewing the top 7 cards of your library, you should be able to find at least 2 that will help progress your board state, you know, whatever you're trying to do. Even if it's just mill yourself, I guess. So yeah, Dawn from Dreams. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Dungeon Geist, 2 and 2 blue. Creature Spirit. I'm not sure I understand this art really, but cool. 3/3 flying, already baseline stats, it's fine. Whenever it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its... Okay. Oh, as long as you control Dungeon Geist. Wow. That's really strong. So we could do like a Dungeon Geist quasi-duplicate kind of control deck, right? So I need to remember Dungeon Geist. Oh, sorry, I didn't put the G. Something felt wrong there, right? I was typing it out and I was trying to read more on the card and whatever. So, yeah, interesting. Seems like it could be a cool play around, and if not a play around, it's strong just by itself. 4 mana for a 3/3 flying, you know, okay. But tapping a creature, essentially removing something from play, so long as it's down, that's a little bit better. Fairy Miscreant. 1 mana for a 1/1 flying. Okay. Whenever it enters the battlefield, if you control another creature named Fairy Miscreant, draw a card. I mean, for a common, you might see it in a Flyers deck and in Pauper games. In Pauper games, actually, that seems like it could be pretty good. We'll move on though. I'm trying to be quick here, like I said, trying to get through all the cards so that way I can have enough time to sleep. Yada yada yada. Flood of Tears, 4 and 2 blue. After this one, I'm going to check back on chat to make sure, you know, y'all haven't asked any questions, yada yada yada, all that good stuff. So, return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. So that includes yours. If you return 4 or more non-token permanents you control this way, you may put a permanent from your hand onto the battlefield. Ooh. Ooh. That sparks my interest because... if you return all yours, you have an Omniscience in hand. You just paid 6 mana for an Omniscience. Omniscience is what? 7? 8? 10? Something? I don't know. It's some amount. I guess I could search and not be lazy, right? So. Let's see. 10. So you're paying 6 mana for a 10 mana card. You're getting to play all of your stuff right back down, right? Because you have Omniscience on the board. Yes. Flood of Tears, Omniscience deck. I need to do that. Tears plus... oh. Omniscience? Omniscient? Is it Omniscience or Omniscient? Whatever. I know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. So yeah, let's Fortress Crab will be our next one, which it looks like a bear if I've ever seen one. Good value. I like the Ajani. Yes, the mono white Ajanis. I actually kind of like both of them. Sweet Lemonade. Yeah, it's raspberry, I think. By what I've read, Yangling Planeswalkers look fun to play. That's the blue ones, right? I think so. Yo, made it. Hey, what's up, Ned? Nice to have you out, for sure, for sure. Alright, so Fortress Crab, 3 and a blue mana, and it's a 1/6. It's a bear. Unbreakable and unappetizing. The crab grows uninterrupted and sometimes to the size of a cottage and beyond. Holy shit. That's a big crab, right? So you might see this in some Bont Defenders deck, maybe. Maybe in a draft game, maybe. Frilled Sea Serpent. We're getting it back. Well, I love the card art for it, honestly. I think it's like really awesome card art. And it's a draft. It's a draft Runu card. Frost Lynx. Lynx? Whatever. 3 mana total. 2 and a blue. Elemental Cat, so it is another elemental. 2/2 when it comes down. When it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap. Okay. I mean, it's elemental. We have a lot of enter the battlefield effects with the elementals, so sure, you may see this played. 3 mana, essentially remove a creature for a turn. Hard cover. 1 blue mana. Enchantment Aura. Enchanted creature gets +2 or +0/+2. I'm sorry, and has tap, draw a card, then discard a card. I said I wanted an enchantment meta. I'm sure that fits in somewhere. Maybe in the Bont Defenders deck, right? That's not terrible for a Bont Defenders. You're essentially giving it 2 more power and the ability to draw a card. Anyways, You may cast spells as though they had flash. Leyline of Anticipation. Well, if they have little to fairy, then this doesn't matter, right? It's just countered. So as far as meta play goes, maybe a sideboard card, maybe like a 2 of in it. I don't know. But past that, it could be some spiciness, right? Because we could play like a Bont like Finale deck is what I'm thinking. Because I think we already had a Bont Finale deck before, and this would just make it better. So Leyline of Anticipation, sure. I mean, we'll play it, right? It's okay. Masterful Replication, 6 mana instant. 6 mana instants always, like higher end instants always scare me because they really have to be like up there in value. So create 2 3/3 colorless golem artifact creature tokens. Hey, that works back with our you know what, I just need 2 of these up, so let's see, we'll go to all sets 2020 and we want to sort it by color because that's how I know it. So we have this little card somewhere, Master Splicer, which gives all your golems +1/+1. Also, whenever it enters the battlefield, you create a 3/3 golem. So maybe you could see a Azorius artifact golem deck. That could be really, really spicy. Because I was talking about doing a quasi duplicate deck with Master Splicer, and this would just fit right in, right? All right, so let's see what the second effect is. Choose target artifact you control. Each other artifact you control becomes a copy of that artifact until end of turn. Oh. So until end of turn. So, and it's an instant, so you could do it on their turn. I guess you could just do a God Pharaoh statue and couldn't play anything. You could do a Helm of Host if you had enough mana to equip that many before you went to swing in, right? Or before your combat phase. Or you could just target your golem, and then all of your like fountains, all of your whatever, all of your artifacts become, you know, these golems, and then all of these golems are getting boosted up by your Master Splicer. So maybe that's alright, you know? Or maybe you have constructs down and you just choose your constructs, and all of your artifacts become constructs and they're all really big. Either way, I like this. You know, I've never really been too heavy into artifacts, but if they're going to keep getting love, I'll tell you right now, I will play the hell out of some artifacts. It's not a deck that I dislike, nor do I think is too broke, I guess. I don't know. Nonetheless, Metropolis Sprite, 1 and a blue mana, Fairy Rogue. For 1 mana, it can get +1/-1 until end of turn, so it goes up to a 2/1 instead of a 1/2. Draft, maybe not even in draft. Moat Piranhas, 2 mana for a 3/3. Oh, it has a defender. Okay. That makes more sense. I was like, wait a minute. Common? That's just 2 mana for a 3/3. That seems like decently solid, right? Like, that's a solid creature. But yeah, defender. Okay. I mean, sure. Draft, I guess. Mu Yanling Celestial Wind. I just butchered her name, so we're just going to call her Celestial Wind. 4 mana, 2 blue, 6 mana altogether. Legendary Planeswalker. +1 until your next turn. Up to 1 target creature gets -5/-0. Okay, so it's like a befuddle for a +1. Not terrible, I guess. Protects her a little bit. -3, return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hands. Could be okay. -7, creatures you control with flying get +5/+5. Ooh, that's spicy. 6 mana. Starts out at 5, so you're looking at 3 turns to proc it. And one of their creatures is automatically going to be killed off. So, I mean, sure. Seems okay if you're up against like a creature deck. You know, Stompy, whatever it may be. Seems fine. As far as being up against control, literally doesn't do anything until the -7, right? So with control, you're just gonna be trying to get it down +++, and then minus and swing in, right? But I mean, minus control decks, which make up so much of the meta, and I hate to admit it, it does seem like a fun and a play around card. And flyers, like, it seems like we're getting some diverse flying decks, whatever you want to call it, and I enjoy that because flyers before were just like shitty, just so shitty. And I may come back to eat those words. I'll be like, God damn it, why is everyone playing flyers? I just want to play my fucking elves that don't have reach or anything, right? But as of right now, seems cool. Maybe it's just because I'm not burnt out on it though. Nonetheless, the next Yanling, I don't know. Sky Dancer, 1 and 2 blue, legendary planeswalker as well. +2 until your next turn, up to 1 target creature. Gets -2, -0, and loses flying. Okay, so, I mean, still good if you have a Flyers deck. Well, really good if you have any kind of deck, right? But especially if you have a Flyers deck, it means that you can take out one of their defenders, right? Like, completely just negate it. Loses flying, you have flying, fly over it. -3, create a 4/4 blue elemental bird creature token with flying. That seems really good. Starts out at 2 loyalty, to note, but I mean, with proliferating in the meta, we can change that, right? So yeah, oh man, we have a Flyers token generator. The thing is, it's -3 and you get 1 4/4. If it was -3 and you got 2 Flyers, then we could really do something with her and Divine Visitation. Still good, don't get me wrong. Getting a 4/4 for -3 on a Planeswalker, I'll take it. -8, you get an emblem with islands you control, have tap, and draw a card. Holy hell. Yeah. Definitely going to be checking her out. Which I think I already have. Yeah, see? There we go. Give myself some credit. I knew I'd already like skimmed through when I saw her and I thought that she was very interesting. So, Negate is coming back. It is what it is. Octoprophet. I really enjoy that name. So, 4 mana altogether. 3 and a blue. Octopus creature. Whenever Octoprophet enters the battlefield, scry 2, and it's a 3/3. You'll see it in draft, right? Like the art though. I am a fan of that art. So, Portal of Sanctuary, 3 mana, artifact. Ooh, okay. I like these colored artifacts. I like where they're going with that. So, for 1 mana and tap it, return target creature you control and each artifact, and each aura attached to it to their owner's hands. Activate this ability only during your turn. Okay. Well, yeah, if you could activate it during your opponent's turn, that would be insane. And each aura attached to it. I mean, that's actually pretty good for all these like these enchantment aura decks, right? Because oftentimes you get in these situations where you're like, well, I have a shitty creature. Well, maybe not a shitty creature, but maybe not your ideal creature for an aura. But you also have the aura that you want, and you're like, I'll just attach it for now, I guess, because I don't have any other plays. This sort of negates that, and only for what, 3 mana 1 turn, maybe 4 mana if you want to do it all in 1 turn. So sure, it could be a nice little spice to those enchantment decks. Renowned Weaponsmith, 1 and a blue, human artificer, sorry, and it's a 1/3, uncommon. Tap and add 2 colorless mana. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. Does that include equip? Because artifacts have equip as an ability, I think. So like Helm of the Host, could you use 2 of these to pay 4 mana for the 5 mana equip cost of Helm of the Host? I'm not sure. My Magic knowledge isn't that great, but maybe. Seems interesting if so. And then for a blue mana and tap, search your library for a card named Heartpiercer Bow or Vial of Dragonfire. Reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library. Okay, so what is that? Heartpiercer Bow or Vial of Dragonfire. Heartpiercer Bow and Vial of Dragonfire. Heart Piercer Bow. 2 mana. Whenever equipped creature attacks, Heart Piercer Bow deals 1 damage to target creature defending player controls. I mean, it's very cheap and it's a common, but sure. And then what was the other one? Vial of Dragonfire. 2 mana. Artifact common. 2 and tap. And it deals 2 damage to target creature. I mean, you'll probably see that combo in draft here or there, maybe. Just as some weird removal. I don't know. Sage's Row Denizen, a Valdalkin Wizard. Valdalkin? I think that's right. 3 mana for a 2/3. Whenever another blue creature enters the battlefield under your control, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into the graveyard. Holy shit. For a common? You know what this means? Pauper Mill is like off of the chains, because you just play 4 copies of this and you play some Persistent Petitioners, right? And you're just like, haha, fuck you. Wow. Yeah, seems like a fun little play around card. Y'all know I'm not a huge fan of mill decks, but I do enjoy playing them, just not so much that I'll do 20 videos on it. Scholar of the Ages. 7 mana for an uncommon. That's a 3/3. Well, y'all know how I feel about 7 mana 3/3s. When Scholar of the Ages enters the battlefield, return up to 2 target instant and or sorcery cards from the graveyard to your hand. 7 mana though. I mean, you'll probably see it in draft. That's not a terrible top-end draft, especially if you're playing in a Spells Matter deck, but my god, that is costly. So yeah, 4 mana, Sleep Paralysis. Enchant creatures when it enters the battlefield, and it taps, and it doesn't untap. Okay, cool. So, like all of the blue removal, right? Taps a creature, creature doesn't untap. That's it. Spectral Sailor, Spirit Pirate, 1 mana, flash flying. For 4 mana, you can draw a card. That actually seems pretty legit. Like the 1/1, whatever, but the fact that it's a spirit means it can run in those spirit tribals. 4 mana, draw a card is not terrible, considering it's just the activated ability. Flash is okay. I'm not gonna lie, Flash isn't like a huge deal breaker, but it's better than not having it for sure, right? And it loops back to the Merfolk, right? The Merfolk that gets extra counters put on it whenever you play a spell during your opponent's turn. Spectral Sailor, you can play during your opponent's turn. Give it a counter. Anyways, Tail's End. 1 and a blue, instant counter target activated ability, triggered ability, or legendary spell. And it's a gold? It's a rare? Target activated ability, triggered ability, or legendary spell. I mean, that'll probably be a sideboard card for sure. Unsummon. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Instant. 1 blue mana. That's not bad. That's really not that bad. Especially since some of these creatures, although we do have a lot of enter the battlefield effects, so maybe it's not that good in current meta, but I mean, for 1 blue mana, slowing down the tempo of your opponent, and it could be huge tempo swings. Say they play a Galta, unsummon it. You know, maybe next turn. Anyways, Warden of Evos Owl. I'm sorry. 3 mana, 2 and a blue. Bird Wizard. Flying creature spells with flying you cast cost 1 less to cast. Ooh. Creature spells with flying you. Okay, so I've already made, you'll see it here, Sephira's mono white flying weenies. Now I want to make an Azorius. Me and Mac had talked about it, but yeah, this plus the Azorius flyer that gives all your other flyers +1/+1, the Lord effect, Anthem effect, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, awesome. Can't wait to play with some flyers. Waterkin Shaman, 1 and a blue. Whenever a creature with flying enters the battlefield under your control, gets +1/+1 until end of turn. But it itself doesn't have flying, so that is something to note. 2/1 for 2 mana. Draft, you know, in a flying aggro deck seems fun in draft. Winged Winged Words, 3 mana sorcery. The spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a creature with flying. Okay, draw 2 cards. So 2 mana, draw 2 cards. For common? Holy shit. What are they doing here? They're just, hey everybody, we want you all to play flyers and elementals. How about that? I mean, sure, seems good. For a common, it seems fair. We're gonna get through blue. I'll check back with chat. We'll talk for a little bit. We'll march on into black and red and green and then multicolored, yada yada yada. Okay, so where are we? Into blue. Whew. That made me a little bit dizzy, not gonna lie. Yelang's Harbinger, 3+2 blue mana, so 5 blue mana, or 5 mana altogether, I'm sorry. Flying 2/4. Ugh. Those baseline stats are ass, and it's gold. I don't understand wizards. Alright. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you may search your library or graveyard for a card named Celestial Wind. Reveal it, put it into your hand. Search your library, or if you search your library, shuffle it. So what is that? Celestial Wind. Which one was that? The left one. Okay. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of these 5 mana rares that just let you search for one planeswalker. Just not a huge fan of it. Yurok's Wavecrasher, 4 mana for a 4/4. Seems fine. Elemental. Okay. When Yurok's Wavecrasher enters the battlefield, return another creature you control to its owner's hand. Well, a lot of the elementals deal with enter the battlefield effects, so that's actually probably a playable card in an elementals deck, both in draft and just in standard play. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be super meta, but playable, sure. Zephyr Charge, 1 of blue, enchantment, target creature gains flying until end of turn. What? Target creature gains flying until end of turn. So it's an enchantment, but you still have to pay? That just seems bad. That just seems complete ass, right? I mean, maybe not complete ass if you have a Flyers deck or whatever and you want to make like Waterkin Shaman flying, sure, whatever. You're stretching it, but that seems rough. Okay, so let's see. Taysia is actually a good commander, by the way, gents. Okay. Well, I do enjoy Taysia, so that is good to know. Simic Flash would be pretty good. Yeah, I completely agree. Simic and Bont Flash, actually. I think I had a... Maybe not. Maybe I was just thinking. I think I had a Bont Flash working last night or something like that. Flyers are going to be very okay this set. Solid mid-range deck potential, but no real control or aggro potential. Sounds right. Y'all know I'm not too competitive, so keeping up with the meta isn't my huge forte, but I'm smart enough to judge and be like, you know, hey, this card probably won't see play, or hey, this card might see play, but as far as telling y'all out completely, no, I'm not going to be your best source. So what's up, Lego Bob? Nice to have you up, out, here, whatever you want to call it. Yepperino, awesome. Quick question, how late am I streaming? Well, we have the event tomorrow that starts at 11 a.m. and it's 9:40 now, so I don't know, I might go till 11. We'll have to see. My rendition of budget for the set, Flyers are looking really solid. Okay, well, I'll pull it up over here and we will take a look at it. Was Wizards high when they made Zephyr Charge? I don't know, it just seems like a terrible card. Okay, so yeah, this is a full deck. Alright, I'll take a look at that. Let's continue on into the black mana, right? Agonizing Siphon, 4 mana. Deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. I mean, for draft, that's not bad removal. For a common, that's not bad removal. Audacious Thief, 3 mana. Human Rogue, whenever Audacious Thief attacks, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. 2/2. I mean, you get in 1 attack with it, I guess it's okay. I don't know. Baroni, I don't know. Vampire, 3 mana for 3/2. Sure, it's okay. It works with all your vampire synergies that you're going to be getting with the new Sorens, so cool. Blade Brand is a reprint. Blight Beetle is the protection creature for mono black, and it has protection from green. Creatures your opponent's control can't have +1/+1 counters put on them. So that is, like I said, huge for denying the Explore package, which has been sort of stomping through standard meta for a while. Maybe not so much in this last set because Bolas' Citadel Explorer just wasn't anything more than a fun deck, I don't think. I mean, you could probably climb with it still, but nonetheless. On to this card. Blood Burglar. 2 mana for a Vampire Rogue. As long as it's your turn, Blood Burglar has a lifelink. It is common, so 2 mana for a 2/2 with lifelink. Sure, why not? Blood for Bones. 4 mana sorcery. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. Seems standard in mono black cards. Return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, then return another creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Ooh. That's not bad. So 4 mana, get a creature back from your graveyard. And you could sacrifice, what, a fucking reassembling skeleton or a 1 mana whatever, Diregraph Ghoul, whatever it is, and say you're playing in some, I guess, Golgari Ungrowth deck where you're sending cards to your own graveyard, draw this, and then for 4 mana you're getting back a Carnage Tyrant and onto the field and maybe something else back into your hand, like another Carnage Tyrant. I don't know, Blood for Bones just seems actually legit. Let's copy this down. Not because I want to make a build around for this, but because I need to remember it for maybe an Aristocrats deck or an Undergrowth deck, something like that. I know Macfar, you had sent me an Undergrowth deck, so maybe check out this card. I don't know if you've checked out all of the cards, but it seems pretty legit. Blood-Soaked Altar. 4/2 black mana, and it is a mono black artifact. Tap and pay 2 life, discard a card, sacrifice a creature. Wow. Basically punch yourself in the gut real quick. Pay 6 mana, pay 2 life, tap it, discard a card, sacrifice a creature, mill yourself. But nonetheless, then you create a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying. Okay. Okay. I mean, that's worth it, right? Paying 2 life, discarding a card, sacrificing a creature, getting a 5/5. Paying 2 life, discarding a card, and, well, discarding a card's kind of rough, because if you just keep doing it, you know, it only goes so far. But I guess it's fine if you're in, like, an Aristocrats deck and the game's gone late. Maybe not. I don't know. This seems odd. I definitely want to try it. Like, just create a demon army, right? But at the same time, seems like you can kill yourself with this fairly easily. It'll be something I keep my eye on in case, you know, we'll see how the standard plays. A lot of the times what happens with these events, at least what I've noticed from the last one and from watching the time before that, is there develops a meta within the event. So we'll see how that all goes. Nonetheless, Bloodthirsty Aerial List. This is a card that I'm actually pretty excited for. 1/2 black mana, and whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on it. However, it has flying. So that's right, you get an Ajani's Pridemate in the air. And it's a vampire, so it works with all the Sorin synergies. So, yeah. I don't need to even discuss my levels of happiness with jank cards like that. Boneclad Necromancer, 5 mana. It is common, so 3/3. Cool. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you may exile target creature card from a graveyard, either graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. That's not terrible. 5 mana for essentially 5/5 in stats. And sometimes having that creature token, you know, if you're playing like an amass deck where you're really focusing on your zombie tokens, it could be okay. But as far as draft goes, it seems pretty legit. Sorry, my odds are like semi-twitching. Ignore me. Bone Splinters. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature, destroy a target creature. It seems like a worse. Oh, what was it? We literally just had it in War of the Spark, and I can't even think of the name. Y'all know what I'm talking about, though, right? The 1 mana sacrifice creature, destroy planeswalker or creature, or you could pay mana differently. So yeah, it just seems like a worse version of that. I don't know. Because they're both going to be in the same meta, so... Spark Harvest. That was the name of the card. Spark Harvest. Okay. Anyways, moving us on. Cavalier of Knights. This is going to be the mono black elemental knight. 2+3 black mana. Lifelink 4/5. Not bad. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, destroy target creature an opponent controls. Yeah, so this card I actually have down for aggro aristocrats deck is what I wanted to try this out as. Like a top end sort of removal, right? Because it's like a really good card, right? And then whenever it dies, return target creature card with a converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to your battlefield. So, 2 things that I want to note here. Could be fantastic in Orzhov decks, right? In your Orzhov vampire decks that you're trying to build up a whole lot of vampires. Could be awesome in your Orzhov aristocrats deck. Honestly, I just really like this card. It can get anything back all the way up to like a Resplendent Angel or I don't know. I'm having like a huge brain fart right now as far as Orzhov aristocrats go, but I enjoy these elemental knights. Like I say, they're fun and not too overpowered. So moving us along, Dark Remedy. Target creature gets +1/+3 until end of turn. Instant. Sure. Seems a bit out of place in black mana, to be completely honest. Sure, you might see it in draft. Disfigure. Target creature gets -2/2 until end of turn for 1 mana instant speed. I mean, that's awesome for draft removal. Dread Presence. Whenever a swamp enters the battlefield under your control, choose 1. You draw a card and you lose 1 life. Awesome. Dread Presence deals 2 damage to any target and you gain 2 life. That is really awesome. It is a rare and it is a 3/3 and it is 4 mana. Dread Presence. Wait a minute. Whenever a swamp enters the battlefield, so if 10 swamp enters the battlefield at once, you win, right? So if you scape shift into 10 swamps, you win. Or if you oh no, I guess that wouldn't work. Oh. Yeah, I mean, scape shifting, you could definitely pull out a victory with this, but seems interesting. Duress, good old Duress is making its way back in. Embodiment of Agonies. I'm so very... I don't know about this card, to be completely honest. Flying Death Touch starts out as a 0/0. However, it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each different mana cost among non-land cards in your graveyard. And then it gives you a little example. So, basically the same... It works off the same mechanic as that, and there goes the dogs. Is this creature card way back here? Adamus, right? So it works off converted mana cost being different, which just seems so iffy, especially about 3 mana. Even by turn 4, you know, you may only have 2, and you're paying. I mean, I guess 3 mana for a 2/2 with Flying Death Touch isn't the world's worst, but it's just the value sort of stops there. So I am gonna mute my stream real quick and go say hello to my girl, and then we'll be right back. So. Okay. Let's catch back up on chat, and then we'll hop back into the card breakdown. So, what event? Core set. Yep. Lowell discard null hod. Yeah. Blood for Bones is an insane card. Gruesome Menagerie plus Rotting Regisaur is also good for. Yeah. Yes. Rotting Regisaur definitely seems like a strong card coming up, which I'm super happy for, but some may not be so. Yes, indeed, Samuel. I am doing a 24-hour live stream, and I do have early access to M20, thanks to Wizards. So that'll be tomorrow, on to the next day. So if you're awake / available from 11 a.m. tomorrow to I think it's 9 a.m. the next day, if I'm not mistaken, check out the stream. We'll probably be going. Blood for Bones seems like a cheaper Bond of Revival. Yeah, Bond of Revival was ass. Just gonna be real. And Bond of Revival, you only got one creature back. Sure, it got haste, but like, you know, it was 6 mana. Blood for Bones, 4 mana. Bone Splinters, unnecessary reprint. Okay, and yes, Spark Harvest is just better. Yeah, that's like, they're literally in the same standard. So it's like, what are you just trying to give people 8 copies of super cheap removal? Congrats. Hey, Chance, you reviewing cards? Yes, I am. Grad. I don't know. I think I always say your name wrong, so we'll just call you Arrow. Yeah, I'm going through and very casually reviewing cards. I decided I'm not going to do like an actual video for these because I'm just not doing it in a very serious manner this time. Maybe in the future. I very much enjoy the idea of doing kind of what like Nox has, how he has it all set up, and each card he goes in and focuses on. Like, that's very appealing to me. I would love to do it in that format. But considering I don't have an editor and all that stuff already made up, so we're just going to do it this way. Blood for Bones would go well in your Liliana zombie army deck you did. That is true. That is very true, Lego Bomb. I think the best black card for M20 is Rotting Regisaur. It is a very top contender, especially for like actual meta decks, not just for my janky bullshit, but for like actual good decks. If you pair it with Gutter Bones, you can discard Gutter Bones, play Register, return Gutter Bones, and repeat, and have a 7 power 3 mana monster. Yeah, that is very true. I didn't even think about it with things like Gutter Bones / Reassembling Skeleton. Or no, I guess you couldn't do it with Reassembling Skeleton, because with Gutter Bones you discard it, but you can return it to your hand, not to the battlefield. That's why it works. See, I told you y'all were smarter than me. I agree, love that card. Regisaur is the most OP dinosaur now. Yes, that is very true. Oh yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be. I'm gonna hate seeing that. I love that it's coming out, but I'm gonna hate seeing turn 4 Galta as like a common thing. So let's see. Where was that? I feel like I just scrolled. Wait. Okay, yeah. For memes, I would say Duress is the best black card since. Well, this guy wants to brother to a quick turn. I was trying to find Blood for Bones earlier. Ah, okay. Duress is a good one also. Yeah, Duress is, it is what it is. Value is better, but for pure frustration. Forest Press, Boreal Grazes, bring out Swamp. Play Swamp, Regisaur. Or play Soul Ring. Yeah, watch the stream tomorrow unless I have to go to get passports for Belize. Oh wow. What you going down there for? Out there for, actually. I don't know if it's a down there, over there kind of thing. And I might not be able to go or to for a bit. That's all fine, man. Definitely put your life above stream. So we sort of dropped on concurrent viewers. People don't really like me checking up on chat. That's okay. Equals the real meta, just disguised. I agree with you, Aeroform. Alright, so we're going to be hopping back into this card discussion. So Epicure of Blood, 5 mana, reprint, sure, seems okay. Fathom Fathom Fleet Cutthroat. 4 mana for a 3/3. Whenever it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. So, cost 1 more, but it's basically a Vraska's finisher. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Feral Abomination is a reprint. 6 mana for a 5/5 with Death Touch. It's fine. It's just fine. Gorging Vulture. 3 mana for a 2/2 with flying. Whenever it enters the battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard. You gain 1 life for each creature card put into your graveyard this way. I mean, I could see some draft play with Gorging Vulture plus Blood for Bones. Could definitely see some draft play with that. Gravedigger is a reprint, but I kind of like it because it looks fucking awesome. Like, I enjoyed the new updated card art for Gravedigger. So, just personal opinion. Gruesome Scourger, 3 mana plus 2 black mana. Orc Warrior. I would love to see an Orc Tribal come out sometime during these next few sets. Just saying. Nonetheless, whenever it enters the battlefield, it deals damage to target opponent or planeswalker equal to the number of creatures you control. You're good. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, seems okay for some removal for planeswalkers specifically if you're running a mono black or maybe an Orzhov Aristocrats deck. Past that, probably won't see standard meta play. Knight of the Ebon Legion, 1 mana, Vampire Knight, 1/2, and then for 3 mana it gets 3/3 and gains Death Touch. Whoa! So what is that? 4/5? That's not bad. At the beginning of your end step, if a player lost 4 more life this turn, put a +1/+1 counter. Oh wow! Oh okay, it's a gold. It's a rare. Yeah, that's really strong. I think I actually have this in my vampires deck. Sometimes, like, I'm still relearning all of these cards, making sure that I know all of their effects fully, but I didn't realize that he could actually proc himself. So that's really strong then. Knight of the Ebon Legion. That might actually see some standard play. It seems like Orzhov Aristocrats may be playable, because cards like this, like, it's strong in itself, right? So 1 mana for a 1/2. That's okay for a turn 1. But then you get down into a Cruel Celebrant, turn 3, you have the threat of this swinging in, and they can't really defend because it becomes a 4/5, which by turn 3, unless you have a Rotting Regisaur, you're not really going to be able to deal with. And then it just keeps getting better and bigger, I guess. Next turn after that, it's a 5/6, 6/7, so on and so forth. Mono Black seems pretty powerful this go around. Not gonna lie, Golgari Stompy might be something to look for. Nonetheless, Legion's End, 1 and a black mana, sorcery, whole lot of stuff to read. So, exile target creature an opponent controls with converted mana cost 2 or less. This is gonna be a sideboard card. That's too little, too small. And all other creatures that player controls with the same name as that creature. Okay. Then that player reveals their hand and exiles all cards with that name from their hand and graveyard. Oh my goodness. This is just like a fuck your Cruel Celebrant, right? I don't know what else you're really targeting with this besides like Orzhov Aristocrats, but I mean, because it hits Priest, it hits Cruel Celebrant, it hits all of their fodder, right, so to speak. So yeah, it'll be a sideboard, but as far as how good it actually is, I'm not sure. Leyline of the Void seems like it could be super annoying. So, if a card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Like, this literally seems like a kind of card, if you go into a matchup with it and you have a Golgari Undergrowth, you just immediately concede, right? Because if they start with this in their hand, it starts on the battlefield, then you have to go through this whole thing of, like, trying to destroy it, and if you don't hit an Assassin's Trophy, well, then I guess your whole plan is just fucked. So, yeah, seems interesting. Mind Rot is a reprint. Murder is a reprint. Noxious Grasp, 1 and a black mana instant. Destroy target creature or planeswalkers that's green or white. You gain 1 life. Well, shit, what are they trying to do? Just shift all of the strength back into either Esper or maybe even just mono black, because this deals with Mini Tef, this deals with Nisa, this deals with Tomio, you know, it deals with a whole lot of the meta threats, so this will definitely be coming out into the meta, I think. 2 mana to destroy a planeswalker is excellent. Gaining 1 life is, you know, inconsequential, but instant speed to just destroy a planeswalker, no like cast down variants where they can't be legendary or any of that, that's very, very strong. So yeah, probably a sideboard card. And now Rotting Regisaur, the card that has been the talk of the evening. 3 mana, 2 and a black, 7/6 Dino, which I'm super happy to see because I enjoy the hell out of dinos in general. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. So if you manage to throw this down and give it haste, you really don't even have to worry about that before you have to discard a card. But as y'all have already been talking about, this is going to be a very, very awesome, spicy, fun card, right? Sanitarium Skeleton. So 1 mana, 1/2, and for 3 mana you can return it from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, so Sanitarium Skeleton plus the one y'all literally just mentioned, the other skeleton. Not reassembling. Y'all know what I'm talking about. In combination with Rotting Regisaur, just seems pretty good, right? Then we have Savage Gorger. 1 and 2 blue mana, or 2 black mana. I don't know how I feel about this card, to be completely honest. At the beginning of your end step, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Savage Gorger. Seems good. Seems like it could be very awesome in an Esper Flyers deck, to be completely honest. But it comes down as a 1/1, so it dies to your opponent sneezing on it, basically. Yeah, if it lives, cool. You might get, you know, a 5/5 or a 6/6 for 3 mana that has flying and just be ridiculous, which is fantastic. But at the same time, it may just get blind blasted, which is a card people shouldn't even be having in their deck. But you know, it may happen. Scheming Symmetry. 1 black mana. Choose 2 target players. Each of them searches their library for a card, then shuffles their library and puts that card on top of it. Okay, so you each just find something you really want, and I guess you just hope that your card is better, right? Sounds good for a control deck, right? Hey, I'll look for some Kaya's Wrath, and you look for another creature that I can Kaya's Wrath, because you don't reveal it, so it's not like you're saying, hey, I'm getting a Kaya's Wrath, don't get a creature. I don't know. Which most people could safely assume. I guess you're grabbing a Kaya's Wrath or a Planeswalker that could really fuck up your board, something like that. Nonetheless, moving us down, Sorcerer of the Fang. 1 and a black mana, Human Wizard, 1/3, 6 mana, tap. Deals 2 damage to target opponent or Planeswalker. Draft. Just pretty easily gonna throw it there. Sorin Imperious Bloodlord, 3 mana, Planeswalker. I enjoy it. +1. Target creature you control gains Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. If it's a vampire, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Seems awesome. I've already built a deck with this in it. We'll see how it does. +1 as well. You may sacrifice a vampire. Whenever you do, it deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. So kind of like a Oath of Kaya effect, right? And then -3, you may put a vampire creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. So that's awesome because you have some really high-end vampire cards out there, like what is literally one, I don't know if it was from last set or the set before, but it dealt with discard every time. It was like the Haunt of Hightower, I think. That is the card. So yeah, seems interesting. Sorin's God, it's one of those, enters the battlefield, you look for a Sorin, it's 5 mana, its stats are whatever, you know. Sure, you'll see it in draft. Past that, I don't know, because it draws this Sorin out, the Vampire Lord, and I just don't know. Like, sure, it's an awesome play around card. If you get to the -8, cool. But if you're up against control, then it kind of fizzles out. So, nonetheless, that brings us on to this card, Sorin Vampire Lord, 4 +2 black. So 6 mana altogether, +1, up to 1 target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn, which seems like a worser effect than the 3 mana Sorin, so seems odd there. For -2, Sorin deals 4 damage to any target and you gain 4 life. So, sure, seems honestly about at the same level, because the other Soren's ability, sure, you had to sacrifice a creature, but you're also building up its loyalty counters. This one, you're minusing its loyalty counters, dealing 1 extra damage, gaining 1 extra life. Sure, seems like a fine trade-off. And then the -8 is, you know, it's supposed to win you the game, theoretically, I suppose. But again, if your opponent's just running control, like so many of them do, then it doesn't really have an effect, because you're gaining control of 0 creatures doesn't do anything for you. Soul Salvage is a reprint, which is, you know, it's okay. Thirsting Bloodlord, I gotta say I'm not super happy for, because before we had Legion Lieutenant, which was a 2-mana, you know, Anthem / Lord effect for all of your vampires. But I'm not gonna complain about it. You know, other vampires you control get +1/+1. Seems fine and dandy. Thought Distortion, 6 mana sorcery. This spell can't be countered. Okay. Target opponent reveals their hand. Exile all non-creature, non-land cards from that player's hand and graveyard. Whoa. This is going to be a sideboard card. But a very powerful one, right? You're up against the control player. Like I've been saying so many times, like, oh, they're just going to control you out. Well, this sort of deals with it. It is going to be 6 mana, so it's going to be a bit slow. But here's the thing. Control players oftentimes have card draw, I'm sorry, if I can get the order of my words correct, often have card draw, so, you know, you may get to exile 2 or 3, which is probably perfectly fine. If you get to exile a Teferi with this, which they should play a Teferi on turn 5, realistically, if they have it, but if you get to exile a Teferi, you know, Kai's Wrath, Cleansing Nova, Planar Wipe, whatever it is, I don't know, that new mono white card that just destroys literally everything except for lands. Getting to exile those would feel super awesome. 6 mana, you gotta hope your opponent has something worth exiling, pretty much there. Moving us on, Undead Servant, 4 mana for a 3/2, and whenever it enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token for each card named Undead Servant in your graveyard. Wow. Well, I'll enjoy it. 4 mana, not so much. If they only made it 3 mana, I'd have been a lot happier. Not gonna lie, but it is what it is, so yeah. I'll take another zombie card, especially a zombie that makes more zombies. Moving us along, Unholy Indenture, 3 mana, enchantment aura. Whenever enchanted creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under your control with a +1/+1 counter on it. It's like a Kaya's Ghost form, except more specific, and it gives them a counter. I don't know. Vampire of the Dire Moon, 1 mana for a 1/1 with lifelink and death touch. I mean, it seems fine if you have a Sorin, right, to sort of bolster it up, or if you have some Thirsting Bloodlords to make it a little bit bigger. Seems fine. Vengeful Warchief, 5 mana for a Orc Warrior. Whenever you lose life for the first time each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Vengeful Warchief. That seems like a playable, like a play-around card, like a playable play-around card. Because there's tons of effects that are like pay life for, right? So we'll see. We'll mention it to ourselves, right? So Vengeful Warchief. Oops. And I did not even spell that right. It's okay. Villas, Broker of Blood, 8 mana. Whoa. It's a demon, and for 1 black mana and paying 2 life, target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. So if you have enough life, essentially, you can just kill their entire side of the board. It is an 8/8 with flying, so that in itself is very strong. And furthermore, whenever you lose life, draw that many cards. Okay. Like, if you lose 2 life, you draw 2 cards, or just every time you lose any amount of life, draw however many times you lost life's amount of cards. I'm not sure. Either way, seems cool if you can manage to get them down. Yurok's Finlurker, just 2 black mana, horror, 1/1. Whenever Yurok Finlurker enters the battlefield, each opponent exiles a card from their hand. Okay. And then for 3 mana, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. I mean, draft. Probably draft. Right? we still have a whole lot of cards to go through. I may not get all the way through these tonight. I do apologize because it's already 10:14. Let's be real. I only have 12 hours and 45 minutes, and I still want to relax a little bit. So we'll see. Active Treason is a reprint. Cavalier of Flame is going to be the Elemental Knight for mono red. How do I feel about it? Honestly, I don't know. I mean, it's a 6/5, so it's one of the biggest as far as damage goes. Do I think it'll see any play in mono red? Maybe. Very well, maybe. Y'all have to remember the whole standard is getting shifted, so like predictions are difficult. They're very difficult unless you like literally sit down and have a full map spread out of all the cards, which I'm assuming would be the best way to do it. Or just to have, 2,000 IQ, either way. But I've already mentioned it. I like the Elemental Knights, I really do. I hate the fact that we have 4 fucking Chandras coming. Like, we already had one in War of the Spark. Why? Nonetheless, Chandra, Acolyte of Flame. I'm sorry. 1+2 red mana, legendary planeswalker. For 0, put a loyalty count on each other red planeswalkers you control, which seems awesome for like a Sarkhan deck, not gonna lie. Or 0, create 2 1/1 red elemental creature tokens that gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. So pay 0, you get 2 little creatures that can swing in quickly, right? Or 2 little creatures that you can sacrifice. So maybe this could be cool in like a Rakdos Aristocrats deck where you're just trying to sacrifice stuff, right? But you wouldn't be able to get them down before like the, what is it? The red and black mana creature card that came out of Ravnica Allegiance that said you could sacrifice a creature, deal 2 damage to your opponent or planeswalker. That seems like it'd be pretty good if they got to stay, or if you could do this before that activated. But yeah, so -2. You may cast target instant or sorcery card with a converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard. Okay. Sure. Seems alright. Chandra, Awakened Inferno. This has been the art for M20. So let's see what it is. 4+2 red mana. This spell can't be countered. Sure. +2 each opponent. Alrighty. Sorry about that. +2. Each opponent gets an emblem at the beginning of your upkeep. This emblem deals 1 damage to you. What the fuck? I mean, it is 6 mana, so it's going to be very difficult. Well, maybe not very difficult, but it's going to be a little tasking to get her down. She does start with 6 loyalty counters as well. Holy shit. Oh, I don't like this. Because essentially, if you get this down, like, you plus her twice, and that's 2 damage every turn unblockably. Plus her 3 times. The clock is, like, literally so short. I don't know. I may be overestimating her, but this seems like really, really strong card. -3 deals 3 damage to target. Deals 3 damage to each non-elemental creature. Wow. So for -3, you get a board wipe. Right? You get a Deafening Clarion. That's not bad at all. And then -X, Chandra, Awakened Inferno deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker. If a permanent dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile it instead. That just seems strong, right? That just seems strong as fuck. Alrighty, moving us along. Chandra's Flame Fury. Chandra Flame's Fury. Let's say it correctly. 6 mana as well. +1. Chandra's Flame's Fury. Deals 2 damage to any target. Seems fine. -2. Deals 4 damage to target creature and 2 damage to that creature's controller. So this is just like the control Chandra, right? We have a Chandra for ramping. We have a Chandra for controlling. We have a Chandra for cheese. You name it. There's a Chandra for it. Nonetheless, -8 deals 10 damage to target player and each creature that player controls. Okay, everybody get ready for the Chandra synergy, right? You play this one, put a counter on it. Maybe you play a Sarkhan in this Chandra mono red Super Friends deck. That's so weird. So weird. Alright, so then we have Chandra Novice Pyromancer. I like how they have like 2 of this style and 2 of this style, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's actually 2 different people or if they're all the same person. Not quite sure. Nonetheless, Novice Pyromancer, 4 mana, +1 elementals you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. I mean, if you're playing an elemental deck, seems fine. For -1, add 2 red mana. Seems awesome. And then for -2, deals 2 damage to any target. Again, seems fine. Chandra's Embercat, 2 mana for 2/2. Tap and add red mana. Spend this mana only to cast an elemental spell or a Chandra planeswalker spell. Well, that's fun. I mean, hell, we have 5 of them in standard, so that card could actually see some play. Chandra's Flame Wave, 3 and 2 red mana, sorcery, and it is gold. Deals 2 damage to target player and each creature that player controls. Search your library for a Flame's Fury, reveal it, put it into your hand, yada yada. So this is the one we're looking for. Okay, so you get board wipe, then you get more removal. Wow. Mono red seems very controlling with the amount of damage it can do. Chandra's Outrage. Deals 4 damage to target creature and 2 damage to that creature's controller. Okay, so it's basically just one of Flame's Fury's effects, right? For a common. That seems fun. Chandra's Regulator, 2 mana, 1 in a red, legendary artifact. Whenever you activate a loyalty ability of a Chandra planeswalker, you pay 1 mana. If you do, copy that ability. What are you... What? Why? Why? What the fuck? Why did she need that? Why did any of them need that? So, you go turn 2 this, turn 3 this, turn 4, turn 5 you have Chandra because you have this Chandra. What? Am I crazy, or did they just like say fuck everybody? Y'all like mono red last season and the season before that? Here, now it's all you're gonna fucking see. Because that seems crazy, right? Chandras, you pay 1, they automatically get 2 emblems every turn. Hell, 2 turns, they're getting 4 damage dealt to their face that they have nothing they can do about because you can't remove an emblem. That just seems absurd. I don't know. Very excited for this set, but that seems a bit absurd. 3 mana for a 1/3. Whenever an opponent is dealt non-combat damage, it gets +3/+0. Okay, so this is a card that Mac has built a whole deck around. Actually, this Cavalcade of Destruction looks really awesome with things like Unchained Berserker, Scorched Spitter. Actually utilizing a lot of the new stuff coming out with the set, so super happy to try that deck out. And I am trying to rush. I don't know if we'll be able to get through everything, like I said, but, you know, maybe if I quit getting sidetracked. Dagger Cell Aeronaut, 4 mana for a 3/2 as long as it's your turn. Has flying. Sure. Destructive Digger, 3 mana, 3/2. Sacrifice an artifact or land. Draw a card for 3 mana plus tapping it. Holy shit. Maybe in draft. Maybe not even there. 7 mana for a Dragon Mage. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, each player discards their hand, then draws 7 cards. Okay. I don't know when this will be played. Even in draft, it seems a bit sketchy, but sure. 7 mana for a 5/5 flyer. I mean, why play this when you can play this, right? 7 mana for a 7/7 flying, and whenever it attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target and 3 damage to each of up to 2 other targets. So you can basically board wipe them, plus deal 7 damage. Or just deal 3 damage, or not 3 damage, deal 11 damage to their face, plus kill 2 of their units. Also, I really like the little flavor text for this. Spread out, your idiots. Spread out. And then it says, you know, whatever. party leader's last words, because obviously the dragon killed him regardless of them spreading out. Ember Hauler, 2 red mana. For 1 mana, we can sacrifice it and it deals 2 damage to any target. Seems fine. I don't know how I feel about goblins. Honestly, a lot of good goblins are getting rotated out, and the goblins that they are introducing, I'm sorry, not reintroducing, just don't seem super awesome. Maybe in the new like modern format that we're getting on Arena, they'll be better, but we'll see. Engulfing Eruption, 4 mana, deals 5 damage to target creature. You'll see it in Draft. Fire Elemental is a reprint, I do believe. Flame Sweep, 3 mana for an instant speed spell, deals 2 damage to each creature except for creatures you control with flying. Sure. You'll probably see it in the deck here or there. Fraud, the spell can't be countered. Deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalkers that's white or blue. Ooh. Well, another heavy sideboard card, and depending on what the meta turns out, a lot of these cards are like specifically targeting certain colors, so depending on how the meta turns out, that depends on, or that sort of determines where these cards line up, because if the meta isn't super heavy into white or blue, then this probably becomes a heavy sideboard card, right, just in case. However, if the meta is heavy into white and blue, probably just leave it in your main deck, honestly. We'll have to see. Glinthorn Buccaneer. So 1 and 2 red mana, has haste, and it's a 2/4. That's not bad. Whenever you discard a card, Glinthorn Buccaneer deals 1 damage to each opponent. Okay, so in a self-milled deck, this seems fun. And then for 2 mana, you discard a card, draw a card, activate this ability only if he is attacking. That's a very weird play around, and I'm sure someone can take advantage of that, but not I. Not I. I don't have the level of care needed to make this card work as what it could in a play around deck. Goblin Bird Grabber is just bad. Just bad. Even for a common. 2 mana for a 2/1, and then for a red mana it can gain flying if you control a creature with flying already. So, yeah. Goblin Ringleader. 4 mana for a 2/2 with haste. Whenever it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all goblin cards revealed this way into your hand and the rest into the bottom of your library in any order. My question, does this work with the sorcery spell, Goblin spell? Which I can't even think of now. Goblin Gathering. Does this work with Goblin Gathering? Because technically it's a goblin card. It's just not a goblin creature, but this does say put all goblin cards, so maybe. Maybe. Goblin Smuggler, Goblin Rogue with 2/2 for 3 mana, haste, and you can tap it. Another target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. It's a common. Probably won't see it too often. Infuriate, instant. Target creature gets +3/+2 until end of turn. For 1 red mana, that's not terrible. Keldon Raider is a reprint. Lavakin Brawler looks kind of like the Waterkin thing that we saw, right? Anyways, whenever it attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each elemental you control. Okay, so I think the other one got some bolster based on flyers or birds or something like this. This is based off elementals. Seems fine, right? Seems okay. Then we have Leyline of Combustion, which seems really, really good in these mono red decks, which I'm really hating. Like, I hate how mono red is shaping up to be really strong again, as if it wasn't enough already. But nonetheless, whenever you or at least one permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, Leyline of Combustion deals 2 damage to that player. So, yeah. Maniacal Rage is a reprint, and Marauding Raptor is a card that I am super excited for to make a Dino Enraged deck with. So, creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Awesome. And then whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Marauding Raptor deals 2 damage to it. If a dinosaur is dealt damage this way, Marauding Raptor gets +2/+0. As I said yesterday, put this in conjunction with Polyraptor. It's literally an infant combo, so I don't know. I don't know how that happens. I guess you lose because of the timer, or your opponent loses because they concede. Not quite sure. Mask of Immolation is going to be the artifact in the red color. So 1 and 1 red, and whenever it enters battlefield, we're going to create a 1/1 red elemental creature, then attach this to it, and this mask says if you sacrifice this creature, it deals 1 damage to any target. I'm sorry, and it has a 2 mana equip. So I'm not sure where I'll see that being played, if anywhere. Nimble Bird Sticker. It's fun for draft. 3 mana for a 2/3 in a flyers heavy meta. You know, this card has reach. It might save your ass in a draft game or two. Pack Mastiff. 1 mana plus a red mana. Hound 2/2. For 2 mana, each creature you control named Pack Mastiff gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So maybe in Pauper this thing comes out and it comes strong, but past that, not that great. Pyroclastic Elemental is another elemental for 5 mana as a 5/4. And then for 3 mana, it deals 1 damage to target player. I don't know. I really want to make an elemental deck. I really want to make a mono red deck. I will probably make a Chandra deck. Don't get me wrong, with Chandra's Regulator plus Chandra Awakened Inferno. Say you just go big red with this, right? You throw down a Steamkin, you boost the Steamkin up, you get a Chandra down by... Can you get a Chandra? You could get a Chandra Awakened Inferno down by turn 4 and have Chandra's Regulator down, right? If you go Steamkin into Regulator, boost the Steamkin to 2, you still have 1 mana, you go like, hell, I don't know, some other 1 mana red card, it doesn't really matter. That's turn 3, and your Steamkin's at a... It's at a 3/3. You pay 1 mana next turn, and you're at 4 mana if you curve out correctly. So you still have 3 left. Your Steamkin gets boosted up, and you can tap it out. So you're, yeah, turn 4 Chandra in big red deck. Very, very doable, actually. And, okay, turn 4 Chandra and having Steamkin down and Chandra's Regulator is doable, which is just insane to me, right? Whatever. I'm not going to go into it. Rapacious Dragon, is that right? So, 5 mana for a 3/3, flying. Whenever it enters the battlefield, create 2 treasure tokens. Sure. I like how it's like guarding all of this gold. Yeah, I mean, sure, seems okay. I'm sure there'll be some play around deck that can work there. Reckless Airstrike. So, for 1 red mana, you can deal 3 damage to target creature with flying or destroy target artifact. You might lose something to it every once in a while in draft. Reduce to Ashes, 5 mana sorcery. Reduce to Ashes deals 5 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. I mean, again, maybe draft. Repeated Reverberation, 4 mana for this instant speed spell. It is a rare wild card, so let's see. I don't know why I keep saying wild card. It is a rare card. You need wild cards to get them. I'm tired. Whatever. Whenever you cast, when you next cast an instant spell, and it is just instant spell, cast a sorcery spell or activate a loyalty ability this turn. Okay, I'm sorry. So it is basically anything. Copy that spell or ability twice. You may choose new targets for the copies. Okay, so turn 4, you get your Chandra down. And obviously this is an ideal situation, so bear with me. Turn 4, you get your Chandra down. You +2, and you won't have enough mana to pay the 1 to double the effect with Chandra's Regulator, but you'll still be able to give them the emblem for 1, right? So you give them the emblem. Come next turn, you have Repeated Reverberation. You cast it. You choose Chandra, and you +2, right? Give them, copies it twice. Okay, so you're gonna put 3 on them, and then you can use Chandra's Regulator and copy it again, so you can put 4 more on them. So by turn 5, they can have 5 emblems that deals 5 damage each turn to them that they can't do anything about. By turn 5. That's fucking stupid. It's actually crazy. For new viewers today, he mentioned that It would create endless Polyraptors and would likely cause... See? Yeah. Happen, but probably won't be as good as Esper Control has been. Here comes Esper Elemental Control. More Teferi allowed. Yeah, Fry is definitely a hard counter. I love me some Fry. Fry's anti-Teferi. Yes. Chandra might be better than Regisaur at this point. Yeah, Chandra's actually fucking stupid. Imagine 4 Chandra regulators and 1 for... Yeah, it's... Chandra's Flame Wave doesn't seem that great. That is, I agree 100% with you. Will be super deck this set, black-red. Yeah, I would definitely be looking at Rakdos and just mono black and mono red in general for being super strong. Thank you for not killing my ears with the fire alarm. Yeah, I'm sorry. Whenever we cook with our stove, sometimes it goes off, so. The thing is, do the emblem stack. Yes, emblem stack. All emblem stack. I mean, it's the same thing as like, have you ever got 2 Vivian emblems down before? You know, yeah, they stack. Emblems do stack, which is the super unfortunate thing about it. 1, you're gonna have like fucking 6 emblems over on the side of your screen taking up space. 2, which of course you can hide them. 2, it's just so annoying. Such an annoying mechanic that you have to think about, right? So, hey, at the beginning of each turn, I'm going to lose 5 life. Well, fuck. I don't know. I either win before turn 5, or I'm fucked by turn 8, basically. I don't know. And yes, that is an all-in, and they can remove your Chandra, yada yada. Control deck can still battle this perfectly fine, but like, for me, that's trying to play jank, that's just taking a shit on everything I love. So, Ripscale Predator, 6 mana, Dinosaur, Menace, 6/5. You'll definitely see it in draft. Wow, we still have so many more cards, right? Oh no, just green and the multicolored. Okay, so we are really gonna fly through this then, because I'm getting a little bit tired. Scampering Scorcher, or tell you what we might do. We might get up early and start before 11 tomorrow, and then just knock out green then. Since the event ends at 9, if I start my stream at 9, 2 hours before the actual pre-release event begins, then I still have time to finish off green and the multicolored. So then today we'll have done blue, black, and red. Tomorrow we'll do green and the multicolored, and yesterday we did white. So that seems fine, and that way I don't have to like just literally read the cards. I can give my actual opinions. So when Scampering Scorcher enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 red elemental creature tokens. Elementals you control gain haste until end of turn. Oh, it's 4 mana for a 1/1. So it's no. Basically, it's 4 mana for 3 1/1s that all have haste. 4 mana for 3 1/1s. Oh. Okay. So it's like an aggro version of the Call to the Feast, right? Which was 4 mana for 3 1/1s with lifelink. And it's an elemental, so maybe you can do some cool synergy with this and your other elementals. Maybe. Scorch Spitter, 1 mana for a 1/1, and I spit when I said that. Anyways, whenever it attacks, it deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. So it basically has Cavalcade built into it, so if you play it with Cavalcade, you know, woohoo! Shock is coming back. You know, it is what it is. Tectonic Rift is coming back. It is what it is. Then we have Thunderkin Awakener. 2 mana for a 1/2 that has haste. Whenever it attacks, choose target elemental creature card in your graveyard with toughness less than Thunderkin Awakener's toughness. Return that card to the battlefield tapped and attacking. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So, here's the thing. Thunderkin Elemental and Scampering Scorcher, super huge combo, right? Obviously, you're going to need to have your Scampering Scorcher in the graveyard in order for it to work. But if you draw this after this has already been dealt with, you're going to swing in with your 1/2. You're going to get you know, 3 more 1/1s down. Seems good. And by the way, you were asking me the other day what I thought you should add to it. This card right here, Thunderkin Awakener. This allows you to pull back your little 1/1s that you're throwing away with Cavalcade. It's a 1/1, or it's a 1 damage, 1 power, whatever you want to call it. Attacker itself. It has haste. Macfar, if you're still out there, definitely throw this in the Cavalcade deck. We'll find somewhere. Maybe take out these Torch Couriers and give our Thunderkin Awakener a little spot. Who knows? Uncaged Fury. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains double strike until end of turn for 3 mana. It's an instant speed spell. I don't know. Maybe in draft. Then we have Unchained Berserker, which is the protection card for red. And it is a 1/1 for 2 mana, and it gets +2/+0 as long as it's attacking. So it seems like mono red's answer to mono white, right? Seems okay. I mean, also to like Teferis and things like that would normally just come down and bounce your attackers or whatever to try and make it past the early game right into the late game. So yeah, Wildfire Elemental, 4 mana, 3/3, seems okay. Whenever an opponent is dealt non-combat damage, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Okay, so yeah, Mac used this in the Cavalcade deck. It's a play around card, I guess, if you want to use it, but past that, probably won't be seeing it in the meta. And then yeah, like I said, we'll be hopping into the green and the multicolored in tomorrow's stream before the event. Let's see where we're chilling at here. Chance should make a 5-color elemental friends deck. Sounds good. Chance ever play MTG duels? No, I did not. Or that's not true. I played literally like once because my brother was like, "Hey, you should check out this game. It actually seems pretty cool." And I was like, I mean, back then it wasn't really my cup of tea. So, yes, please. I greatly enjoy 4 5-color mana and 5-color. Well, I've been watching for about a month. Yeah, no, I haven't ever played duels for content. Why did they reprint Shock? So many bad memories. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Some cards just need to die. Some strategies just need to fucking die. Mono red aggro, just let it drop off for a season, you know? Maybe after everyone's gotten sick of seeing mono red, and here's the thing. If it was just like an arena thing, if people just played it on arena and it was like, yeah, hey, you can use this to grind and get yourself into Mythic, like literally so easily. You don't even have to be good at the game. You just have to play mono red and just get lucky. And I say lucky because it is lucky. We can all accept that Magic is a RNG based game as far as the overview of it. So yes, by all probability's sake, if you just play mono red, given an average IQ, you can hit Mythic too if you put in enough time. But yeah, after giving that to us for what, three fucking sets now, you want to go ahead and make mono red even stronger? I don't know. Y'all know I could literally complain for weeks on end, so I won't. But it just seems like a feels bad man kind of thing, right? Like, come on, just one set. Don't make mono red look so goddamn appetizing. They gave you an artifact deck with no creatures against mono red aggro. They gave you an artifact deck with no creatures against mono red aggro and wanted you to win. Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound fun. Should jump off a cliff into a fiery pit and burn. I see what you did there. Gotcha. Alright, so yeah, we are gonna call it a night. I've had my rant session. Oh, before we do, let's check out some of these decks and y'all can Tell me what you think. So let's go to the visual here. And the idea behind this is pretty simple. We're using things like Sky Marcher's Aspirant, Healer's Hawk, Loyal Pegasus, that kind of stuff to get down an early Sephara, I'm sorry, not Seraph, Sephara Sky's Blade. So yeah, I don't know, seems like a fun strategy just in general to me. And we have some Gideons and some other things, some Ajani's to have some fun with. We have an M20 Wolfpack deck, which seems pretty fun. You're going to see God's Willing in a lot of my decks. That's because this card's actually busted as hell. Yeah, we're playing things like Ferocious Pup, the Wolf Rider's Saddle, Night Pack Ambusher, Tulsamir, Arlen, a whole lot of fun things. Soren's Vampire Army. This is that Soren's deck that I was talking about. We do have Knight of the Ebon Legion in here. I do have one copy of Savage Gorger. We have some Cruel Celebrant, some Maverins, both copies of the new Soren plus old Soren. Yeah, you know, what is there to say? It's a whole lot of vampires. So many vampires that I couldn't even cut it beneath 63 apparently. Then we have an Angel deck where I'm actually utilizing Bishop of Wings plus Divine Visitation for some spiciness, right? Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry I'm not going for that long. I probably should have started the stream earlier today. I was just we walked for a really long time, and then I got home and I was tired, so I was like, oh, I don't really feel like doing anything except for just sitting here relaxing, working on, you know, thumbnails and setting up the event for tomorrow, all that like behind the scenes kind of stuff for tomorrow, because I knew I was going into a 24-hour stream. But yeah, and Brought Back is another card you'll probably see a lot of, because until I really play with these cards, I don't know whether or not they'll be as good as what I'm thinking or not. So a lot of these decks are probably going to get edited. This is a Golgari Aristocrats deck with Moldervan, where we just use things like Tendershoot Dryad, Poison Tip Archers, things like that, Slimefoot Stowaways. Good old-fashioned Aristocrats. Oh, Kethis Legendary I'm excited for. The Scape Shift deck, and then I had to make a Suicide Squad Part 2, of course. So let's go ahead and get the visuals for all of these. So, Kethis is a card that I'm super excited for. 3 mana for a 3/4, and it says all legendary spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So obviously, I went through and made a legendary deck with as many legendaries as I could pack to the fucking brim, minus the Paradise Druids and the Land of War Elves. But yeah, those of you that have been wanting a legendary deck will finally get one, and we have Helm of the Host for some fun stuff there. And then we have this Yurok Scape Shift deck where we're trying to get a fuck ton of Field of the Dead down, right? We're trying to get down Field of the Dead and then play down a whole bunch of lands. Don't ask me why we have 27. I don't think we're supposed to have 27 lands in the deck. But maybe that's why we're rocking 63 cards, right? So that'll change once we export it over and I'll take a better look and see what I'm dealing with. But yeah, what can I say? It's a lands deck. We have the Explore package. We have things to draw out more lands. It's just going to be a good time trying to make a whole bunch of zombies basically there. Oh, we actually can't go back there. And then Suicide Squad Part 2, basically we're using Moldervan plus Teysa to really put a hurting on people with this Abzan. And Corpse Knight is such a good card for these Aristocrats decks. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. So they're losing a life when your creatures die. You're gaining a life, and they're losing a life whenever your creatures enter the battlefield. So they're just really getting taxed on it. So, and yeah. Oh, go ahead and show y'all Mac's other deck. This is a Golgari Undergrowth deck, which y'all know if you've been following the channel. I'm not the biggest Undergrowth player, but that's also because I find it to be one of those difficult things for me to really build, right? Because I don't know how to how to function with undergrowth. It's just one of those abilities that's like, I don't know completely what I'm doing or what creature I should get back and all that. You gotta admire rat colony users though. Oh, I kinda gotta sneeze. Play cards that let you bring stray cats to the field. That would be awesome. Alright. I could, Mono Red is losing so much this rotation. Yeah, I mean, after the set actually rotates in the fall, it will be. But for these first 2 months, until we lose all the lightning strikes and all that, it's going to be fucking hell. And hey, they're getting to keep Shock, which is like one of their main go-to-the-face kind of cards. I don't know. I mean, Mono Red is losing a lot, but they still have, I feel like, plenty to be spot on with their piss-offery. Nonetheless, we're coming up on a 2-hour stream, and I feel like that is plenty. We talked about three of the whole color sets from the upcoming set. Tomorrow we're doing a 24-hour live stream. It'll be fun. We're gonna start the live stream, and I'm gonna kick us off with like just recording a video on live stream, and then I'll go through and edit it and all that, and take a little bit of a break and talk. And this, of course, will be once the event gets started. So we'll do that. I'll get the video up, and then I believe, if I'm correct, me and MTG Jeff and maybe Thyrix6, depending on how his plans are with what he's going to be doing, are going to be doing a little bit of a little versus with some of the new cards. So then we'll be putting that video to the side. I want to put up 2 videos here on YouTube tomorrow as well as live stream, so that's just something I'm going to have to do. And I want to record enough backup footage that it's just plenty, if that makes sense. It's plenty for me to do whatever I want to with for however long. So yeah, the stream tomorrow is going to be very laid back, and it's going to be very much more of a, hey, you're behind the scenes sometimes, than hey, we're going to be playing this game literally 24 hours tomorrow, if that makes sense. So we're not going to be playing for the full 24 hours, but we'll play. I'll record some videos, maybe show some of y'all how I edit my videos if y'all are interested in that. And then, you know, still doing everything that I want to do in the event. So okay, hola everybody. Also, bye everybody. Have let me see if I can get his chat rate up. Y'all are ridiculous. Thanks everybody for coming out and supporting the stream. I know a lot of y'all are hopping out now. Hopefully we'll see y'all tomorrow. As always, peace.